Okay, so today we're going to dig into a manifesto that wants to radically change how we think about sustainable software. And no, this isn't just about using less electricity. This is about a fundamental flaw that's hiding in plain sight in the way we actually write code. Let's get into it.
So this whole thing kicks off about 5 years ago with this really ambitious idea called the eco-programming paradigm. The author did everything by the book, laid out this perfect academic framework for building sustainable software. On paper, it was flawless.
But here's the kicker. When this brilliant idea hit the real world, it completely flopped. It just didn't connect with the very people it was supposed to help, the programmers on the ground. So the big question is, what went so wrong?
Well, the author calls it the egghead mistake. You know the type, right? It's that classic trap where a brilliant idea gets totally lost in translation. It's a communication breakdown between the ivory tower of theory and the messy reality of getting things done.
And it all came down to one single word: methodology. See, in the IT world, that word doesn't sound helpful. It sounds like dogma. It sounds like someone from on high is handing down a bunch of rigid rules you have to follow, no questions asked. And this really gets to the core of it. Programmers are just naturally skeptical of these top-down methodologies. They feel like charters and rules. But give them new technologies, actual tools that help them build better and faster, they absolutely love that stuff. It's the difference between being told what to believe and being given a better hammer. To make this difference really clear, the manifesto gives us this amazing analogy, and you're going to love this. Forget all the tech jargon for a second. We're going to talk about baking. Specifically, the huge difference between a muffin and a bagel.
So let's start with the way most software gets built today. It's called code-centric programming. In this world, the code itself, the syntax, the lines you type, is the star of the show. It's the center of the universe. And the actual logic, the algorithm, that's secondary. It gets buried or smeared all over the place.
And what do you get when you do this? You get a bagel program. It's a perfect image, isn't it? It's all dough, lots of code, but there's a huge, gaping hole right in the middle where the clear, central algorithm is supposed to be. And this creates what the author calls energy debt. It's a nightmare to maintain, and it leads to throwing away perfectly good hardware way too soon. So what's the alternative? Well, it's called algorithm-centric programming. And here, everything is flipped on its head. The algorithm, the actual idea, the business logic, that's the solid core. The code? The code is just its servant. It's a tool that exists only to bring that core idea to life. The result of this approach? You guessed it, a muffin program. It's solid all the way through. The algorithm is that firm, reliable center. There are no holes. This thing is robust, it's adaptable, and it's built for a long life. No holes, no debt. Okay, so this is great. We want to bake more muffins and fewer bagels. Awesome. But how do you actually encourage that? How do you even measure it? We need a totally new way of thinking about sustainability in software. And that's the crucial question, isn't it? Our current green coding metrics, they're fine, I guess. They're good at measuring how much electricity the bagel's dough uses when it's running. But they completely miss the point. They can't see the structural flaw. They can't measure the whole. So to fix this, the manifesto proposes this whole new paradigm. It's a bit of a mouthful: Methodological Lifecycle Sustainability, or MLS. But the idea behind it is actually super simple. It says a program's real environmental footprint is determined by how it was built. Code-centric bagels are designed to go stale fast, while algorithm-centric muffins are built to last for decades. And to measure this new idea, we get a new tool, the Methodological Sustainability Index, or MSI. And get this, it doesn't measure carbon or kilowatts. It measures something called the obsolescence resistance coefficient, which is just a really smart way of asking a powerful question: how long is your software going to live before it becomes useless junk? So how does MSI actually work? This is the cool part. It's not some abstract number. It asks really practical, down-to-earth questions, like, is your algorithm clean and separate, or is it a tangled mess? Can you change the core business logic without tearing the whole thing apart? And this one's huge. Can it still run on hardware from 5 years ago?
All right, now hold on, because this is where this entire conversation goes from important to incredibly urgent. We have to talk about AI.
Just think about it for a second. What are we training our powerful AI models on? We're feeding them the internet, a giant library of code that is mostly bagels.
So what happens when AI masters our bad habits? It becomes a hyper-efficient bagel factory, churning out flawed, unsustainable code at a scale we can't even imagine.
The result of that, an exponential explosion of digital waste. We are literally on the verge of automating the creation of throwaway software, burying ourselves under a mountain of digital garbage.
But it doesn't have to be that way. AI could actually be the hero of this story. See, an AI is the perfect tool for this algorithm-oriented way of working. If you give it a muffin mold, a really clear, well-defined algorithm, it can bake a perfect, sustainable program every single time. We just have to give it better recipes.
And what this all means is that the role of a programmer has to evolve. It's not just about solving today's technical puzzle anymore. It's becoming a profound ethical responsibility.
We need to shift from being coders, people who just solve the problem in front of them, to becoming guardians. Think about that for a second. Guardians who endow AI with an engineering conscience, who provide the structure and the wisdom to stop it from just mindlessly generating waste.
And you should know, this isn't just a theory anymore. The Eco-Programming Alliance is already turning these ideas into a real global mission. They're uniting developers who want to build a digital world that's meant to last, a world that isn't disposable garbage.
So, at the end of the day, it all boils down to this one simple, powerful question. The next time you sit down to start a new project, you have to ask yourself, am I just baking a disposable bagel to solve an immediate problem, or am I baking a solid, sustainable muffin that's built to last?